Today we're going to talk about job descriptions. Did you know, for example, that the right senior pastor job description can make or break your church's hiring process? Same goes with worship pastor, youth pastor. All those job descriptions make a huge difference. I mean, if they're too vague, you're going to attract the wrong candidates. If they're too detailed, you might scare off the right ones. But don't worry, I got you covered. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to break down how to craft, in this case, the best senior pastor job description in 4 simple steps. I hope you'll stick around till the end. And this is the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. My name's Todd Rhodes, one of the co-founders over at chemistrystaffing.com. And today we're talking about job descriptions, one of everybody's favorite topics, right? Probably not. But job descriptions are really, really important. And I'm going to tell you how to write a really, really good job description in 4 easy steps. All right, so let's get to it. First of all, step 1, you got to start with your church's vision and mission. So before you even start to jump into job responsibilities, don't even go there yet. Your job description should clearly define who your church is and where it's going. The problem is, a lot of churches don't know who they are, and they sure don't know where they're going. So this could be a time of introspection, and I think that's actually a good thing. Whenever you're getting ready to hire a new staff person, you should really be introspective about who you are as a church, where you're going, and what you need. Because here's the truth, the right candidate needs to see if their calling aligns with your church's vision and your church's mission. And you need to know what that mission is. You can't even don't think about hiring somebody if you don't know what your church's mission is. So here's what you need to include in step 1. You need to include a short paragraph about your church's history, about your church's theology, and about their core values. So let me give you an example here. This could be something that could be in this first example. Grace Community Church is a growing Bible-based church in Tuscaloosa that exists to make disciples and impact our community through authentic worship and outreach. All right, so why does this matter? And I'm just throwing this out there as an example. Why does this matter? Candidates need to know if they resonate with your church culture before they even apply. Okay? Matter of fact, you want them to do that, because if they don't resonate with your mission and your vision and your values, you don't want them to apply. It's just going to be noise, okay? And it's going to make your job much harder because you're going to have to look at a lot more resumes. So here's a pro tip. Avoid using generic language like, we love Jesus and we serve people. Every church says that. Hopefully, every church loves people and they want to serve people. Instead, I want you to try and really zone in and highlight what makes your church unique in your city, okay? So that is step number 1, which you have to start with your church's vision and your mission. Okay, I said there were 4 steps. Here's step number 2. I need you in step number 2 to clearly define responsibilities and expectations, okay? So let's take the senior pastor, for example. A great senior pastor job description is going to balance clarity and flexibility. So here's what you need to do. Instead of listing, and I've seen a lot of job descriptions, and you don't want to do this. Instead of listing 25 plus tasks, focus on, say, 5 top areas of responsibility and define what success looks like in this role. Break it down into categories. Like, again, we're talking senior pastor here. Preaching and teaching could be lead biblically sound, engaging sermons weekly. Okay. Number 2 could be leadership and vision casting. Provide spiritual direction for staff and ministry teams. Number 3 could be pastoral care. Shepherd the congregation through counseling, through visitations and discipleship. Community engagement. Connect with local community and represent the church well. And then administration and team management. Oversee church staff, finances, and strategic planning. So rather than listing out very specific 25 bullet points of all these random areas and specific things that you need your next senior pastor to do, put them into 5 areas. You're still able to put a lot of different things in those 5 areas. But here's the pro tip for you on this one, okay? I got a pro tip for each one of these. Yeah, you'll love it. When you're writing this, avoid micromanaging the job description. So instead of saying things like update the church website weekly, say ensure effective communication of church activities and vision. So you want to make it a little bit more encompassing, all-encompassing, and a little bit less micromanagement, okay, if that makes sense. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, set clear qualifications. All right, here's the deal. Without overloading requirements, one of the biggest mistakes churches can make is they write this job description for a super pastor role that nobody can realistically fulfill. We do a lot of worship searches, and when we see a job description that's like this, the super pastor, we say that this church is looking, we call it Jesus with a guitar. They're looking for Jesus with a guitar. Perfect, but man, he can shred it, right? So must have qualifications. You need to have a deep, growing relationship with Jesus. You need to have strong preaching, and we're back on the senior pastor. Strong preaching and teaching ability. You need to have proven leadership experience in a church setting. Things like alignment with your church's theological beliefs. Those are the must-haves, okay? And then you can have some preferred but not required sections, okay? Again, it makes it look like it's like you're not micromanaging, and that you've got these must-haves. Don't even apply. Don't even consider applying if you don't have these things. But then there's some preferred things, and I think this kind of speaks to your church's openness and what you're looking for. Preferred but not required could be things like an advanced theological degree, but it's not a deal breaker. It could be experience leading a multi-staff team. It could be a track record of church growth and community outreach. Okay. So here's your pro tip here. If you require 15 plus years of experience and a PhD and fluency in Greek, your candidate pool is it goes from this all the way down to just a tiny dribble, right? So you gotta keep it realistic. The number of churches that are 50 people that are looking for somebody with a DMin, and they want to pay $35,000 is immense. There are a lot of churches that are looking for that. And I tell you what, when you put that in your job description, you're going to have a hard time attracting any candidates at all. So be realistic. All right, step number 4. And I told you there were 4, so we are on the last one. You got to make your next steps clear. A job description isn't just about what you expect. It should also tell candidates what to do next if they're interested. Okay, the most important thing is how do you apply? Okay, that's the next step. They're reading the job description. You want them to take the next step. The next step in a job description, or at least a job posting, is always, how do I apply? Provide an email or a website where candidates can submit their applications, and what to include. You need to include your resume, preaching samples, maybe a brief doctrinal statement. But those are things that you're going to want to ask for specifically. Those are the next steps. And then let them know what the hiring timeline is. Let them know when you'd expect to start interviews, when you hope to hire somebody, what the time is. So here could be an example closing line. If you feel called to serve as a senior pastor at Grace Community Church, we'd love to hear from you. Please send your resume, a brief doctrinal statement, and a preaching sample to podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. Okay, now my email box is going to be filled with people that want to be the senior pastor at Grace Community Church. That's okay. I would love to talk with you. But here's your pro tip here. If your church is using a hiring firm like Chemistry, link to the application page to streamline the process. So you're always going to want to put this on your website. You're always going to want to promote this as well. But make sure if you're working with a staffing firm that you always kind of put that application page on your job description so that those people move on through the right processes that you've already set up. Okay, so with those 4 steps, you should be equipped to craft a really powerful, clear, and effective job description. I hopefully shared some things with you that will help make it better. Matter of fact, if you take these 4 steps and apply them when you're writing your job description, or take your current job description and kind of overlay these 4 steps on top of it and make your tweaks from there, it's going to make a huge difference. Um, I would love to hear from you, though. As you're thinking about hiring, as you're thinking about job descriptions, what's the biggest challenge that your church has faced in hiring? It might be finding candidates. It might be writing the job description. It might be, how do we know what to pay? All of those kind of things. Those are things that I would love to hear what your church is struggling with. If there's any way that I can help, I would love to be able to come alongside you and partner with you. That's what I do in my work at Chemistry Staffing. You can reach out to me anytime, podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. And I would love to hear from you. Tell me kind of where you are in this process, and if there's any way I can help, just let me know. If you're currently searching for a pastor, let's connect. Love to do a free strategy call with you. We can do that anytime, and you can catch me again at podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. All right, thanks so much. Hope you'll join me again. Always enjoy spending time. Always enjoy talking with you here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. We're here every Monday through Friday, so I hope you'll join me again right here tomorrow.